Welcome back to the third episode of Average Joe News Co. Today we'll be covering a story out of Midtown Manhattan where buildings were evacuated after columns were found buckling at a high-rise construction site. The second will be Kelsey Pfendler, who became the first woman to row solo from California to Hawaii. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's go.
Our first story today, during a renovation of a Midtown Manhattan construction site, the workers spotted structural support columns beginning to buckle on the 21st and 22nd floors of the building and self-evacuated. That caused the 21st through 26th floors of the 37-story building to start caving under stress. It's amazing to me that this doesn't happen more often. I'm glad it doesn't. Having said that, every time I look at the Empire State Building, I think to myself, how on earth did people build this, especially in 1931? And what's even crazier is it only took 410 days to build. I'm gonna say that was probably a lack of OSHA oversight on that one. About 3,400 workers were just cranking away.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Without much of a concern for safety, environmental standards, or anything like that. It's really a testament to how well engineers do their jobs that tens of thousands of skyscrapers like this across the country especially have lasted for decades, and you really just don't hear these stories. What I will say is don't let the residential developers anywhere near these skyscrapers. I feel like everything I hear about new build houses is that they're built out of paper mache. Yeah, let's maybe think more about how to build those a bit better. Great job to the construction crew for discovering, oh, yeah, I guess that was pretty hard to ignore. Even if it was immediate self-preservation kicking in, I'm glad everyone got out safe. Yeah, shout out to the structural engineers that make this a pretty infrequent occurrence. Up next, we have Kelsey Pfendler, who has become the first woman to row solo from California to Hawaii, breaking the previous men's and women's speed record for the journey. A few more details about this. She rowed from Monterey, California to Oahu, which is 2,400 miles, in a 21-foot rowboat in just under 44 days. The challenges included blistered hands, struggle to sleep, stiff winds, mental and physical struggles of coping with unfavorable currents. Now, I know this is inspiring and it's an amazing achievement. There's no other way to look at it than that, but I will. I think people who choose to do things like this may have something altered in their brain chemistry, kind of like a sociopath. I just think that things like running, rowing long distances were originally, done for survival. I get it. You're pushing yourself to the extreme. You're showing that something can be done that's hard, that, may seem impossible, and that is inspiring. But to give you a personal anecdote, I was asked by my wife to run a half marathon at Disney World a few years ago. My response to that was that I did not train. I prayed for a massive Florida thunderstorm, and sure enough, I manifested that, and my half marathon became a quarter marathon that I was able to do with no training, if that gives you a bit of a background on my opinion on these things. Now, I will say, I think part of that is I grew up as an athlete who viewed running as a punishment, not really as something that was fun or, a challenge worth taking on. Shout out to Kelsey for this incredible achievement. You and I probably wouldn't be best friends, and that's okay.
I just want you to know I hate you. So does my dad.
Moving on to sports. Today we get to revisit my first prediction of the year, which was the Yankees vs. Rays game on July 7th. I gave a prediction of this being a high-scoring game, and I specifically said that the pitching matchup was not going to be a good one. Hand up, that was a bad prediction.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Ian Seymour from the Tampa Bay Rays had a 12 strikeout game. There were a number of home runs. It was ultimately 6-4 Rays who took the victory. So overall, I would say that's a good game, bad take. That makes me 0-1 on good recommendations for the year. Moving on to today's recommendation, I'm gonna get a little bit obscure here, which is the European Darts Open in Leverkusen, Germany. Now, I know it's darts, but the crowds are electric if you've never seen them before.
I've never seen the like. Come on, Spolly boy. Yes, double 12. That is the most amazing leg of darts you will ever see in your life. I can't speak.
You would think it's a World Cup soccer environment in terms of passion for the crowd. It may have something to do with the amount of drinks that are being consumed in the background. It's worth checking out if you've never watched darts before. It could be a fun time. It's one of the larger tournaments on the professional tour, so give it a chance if you've got nothing else to watch. All right, moving on to weather. Today for Wow That's Warm, we once again have Basra, Iraq, which is the first repeat in 3 episodes. Basra is 111 degrees. Rather than continue to give you the temperature over and over again, I think that could get a little bit stale, telling you how hot it is. I'm gonna do things a little bit differently this time, and I'm gonna give you one drink that I think if you're in Basra you should enjoy, and maybe one or two you should stay away from. If you're out in Basra today, grab yourself some light blue Gatorade. You're gonna be sweating. Water would taste really good, but I think a ice cold light blue Gatorade will really do the trick if you're out in Basra. What I would avoid is Fireball whiskey or milk.
It's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice.
Okay, moving on to that's frigid. We have Puerto Williams, Chile. 36 degrees. Once again, we're in the high 30s. I looked this up this time, and it turns out that ChatGPT was giving me some bad information, as it is sometimes known to do. It was giving me temperatures in the first 2 episodes that were based on historical trends and not actual forecasts. Hand up, I should have checked that. This is a news report of vibes, not really a news report of facts. So apologies, but for this one, I basically had to deviate from ChatGPT, look up some very southern locations, and guess. So this is my best guess of where the coldest place is on Earth today. Puerto Williams, Chile. Now, once again, I'm going to give you a recommendation of drinks here. So if you're out there, enjoy yourself some warm bone broth. I think that would be very nice. A nice salty filling mixture that also, feels like a nice cup of soup. And I would avoid the DK Blizzard, specifically the M&M variety. I just think it's gonna hurt your teeth, not gonna go down very easy on a 36-degree day. Thanks again. This is Average Joe News Co. We'll be back again tomorrow with our 4th episode. Thanks so much.
Marathon man, it's run legit. Can't let it slip when it's all in my grip. Talking too much, he probably not it. All that I did, calls I missed, time I spent. Yeah, that's that blood, sweating my love. Checking out tug, out of the mud. Bro, probably get picked up like a truck. Winning the clutch, that is a must.